"This girl is a bit willful." Father asked her to come and say hello. The girl took off her jacket to reveal her exquisite figure and this fat guy next to her, obviously looking forward to the next episode. Unfortunately, the girl just held out her hand, let the fat man to the mouth and swallowed. The girl disappeared with a brisk pace in front of the crowd. In addition to her father, the other two really got a good deal today. The girl's name was Josie. The girl's name is Josie. She is not on good terms with her family, and she was just deliberately disgusting her father. After another fight with her father over the incident, Josie decided to run away from home. She could have used the money to buy supplies, but she took a different route. Alone, she went to the supermarket. Directly on the shelves of underwear on their own body, clothes are stuffed with small items that they like. Then deliberately wait until the supermarket closed, ready to stay here for one night. And it is this seemingly ordinary adventure game. Let her meet a man who has the same channel as herself. His name is Jim. Is the most humble night janitor in the supermarket. The boss wants him to finish his work on time, even locked him in the supermarket until the next morning at 6 o'clock a.m. Supermarket doors will not automatically open. The unruly Jim at heart naturally will not miss this hard-won opportunity to get high in the supermarket of everything to enjoy the pleasure of solitude. But what he did not expect, originally the supermarket was empty, but there is a roll of women. At the moment of meeting here, Jim's brain instantly shut down, and then straight into the shelves, because Josie's father is a well-known local tycoon. As a rich girl and beautiful Josie, naturally, the local singles dream of the goddess of their dreams. Jim was curious why Josie was still here 5 hours after closing. In the locker room, Josie tells a stranger about her family for the first time. Her mother had died young. Her father was a brutal and tyrannical man, despite the family's good fortune. But Josie had never felt happy. Jim, who was a great representative of optimism, believed that happiness was everywhere. She just lacked the eyes to find happiness. Finally, Jim took Josie as if the supermarket as a cafeteria. A happy journey of the two of them is opened. This is a breathtakingly beautiful rich girl, with her long black hair and luscious red lips, and her soul-stirring eyes made her the goddess of dreams that the men of the town wanted but couldn't get. In order to let her experience what it means to have fun, Jim and Josie started shopping at the supermarket like a cafeteria. One set of brand new, unopened dishes for each person, and then from the microwave oven freshly heated chicken fillet, sitting on tables and chairs with price tags. A homemade restaurant is created. Since childhood, Jim is a chatterbox. Words do not hide the fact that he once wanted to Josie. Josie appreciated the honesty of the man in front of her. Every second he spent with him was breaking his own perception of many things. But in fact, Jim also has a bad past. He was teased as a child because of his family's poor circumstances. When he grew up, he never had a good job. In the eyes of others, Jim is also a real loser. But these two people do not have the same point in all aspects of the stay together for only 2 hours to produce a wonderful chemistry. Josie, who was in a good mood, danced to the music with abandon. She even asked Jim through the radio room if he would take her back to meet her parents and get her out of here. A sudden dream come true. Jim was a little overwhelmed. He always thought the two were from two different worlds after all. Josie had the right hardware and a rich father. Wherever he went, he could live a carefree life. All these things he could not afford. But the beauty of Jim was still moved. Then Josie dropped a big bombshell, a full $52,000 in cash. Poor Jim is the first time in his life to see so much money. Jim was finally convinced by Josie before all the temptations. He promised to take her out of the town at dawn. With the soft music, the two entered the dance floor hand in hand. Josie promised Jim that she would thank him in her own way. What would it be like to spend a night alone with such a girl? Under Jim's guidance, Josie, who always had a sad face, felt happy for the first time. The two of them wearing skates through the large supermarket. The sound of laughter. But just as they were holding hands and letting loose, two gunmen suddenly appeared in front of them. They had no time to break, so they crashed straight through. As the shelves collapsed, the two thugs also fell badly. Jim and Josie, who had just gotten high, looked back. A second ago, the gun was a majestic gangster, now has fallen unconscious like a puddle of mud. The two of them look to run away as fast as possible, turn off the supermarket power and hide under the bench in the bathroom. Soon the robbers came looking for them, stretching their necks to look inside when they were too scared to leave the air-shy position of Jim until the robbers left before they dared to retract the almost trampled hand. Figured they had left, the two crept out. Unfortunately, they were discovered by the gangsters. With excellent trickery skills, Jim had an idea, claiming to be in the middle of a $60 million contraband deal. Next to him was Josie, his hostage to get through customs. In 5 minutes, someone would come to make the deal. Jim's bullshit. The two thugs didn't believe a word of it. They threatened to take care of Josie, who was no longer of any use to them. He saw that Josie was in danger. Jim rolled over and got up, carrying a radio as a walkie-talkie, pretending to call the police. The two thugs are afraid that the IQ is not online. At that time was very frightened. Hold Josie as a hostage at all times in a state of alert. In Jim's fanciful nonsense, the two men really think there is help coming, obediently put down the gun in their hands. Jim was quick to protect Josie behind him and picked up the gun on the ground. The two thugs were dumbfounded by Jim, but just as Jim was enjoying the worship of the goddess, the gangster's words struck him like a blow to the head. The gun is not loaded. The two men's smiles froze at the corners of their mouths. The gun was returned to him. Jim did not forget to please them, want to help them hot snacks. But Jim is Jim after all, still too young. I lied to you. After enjoying Josie's rocking horse show, the two thugs immediately decided to take this foxy little lady away. Then they quickly ransacked the supermarket of all the valuable items. Jim could not sit still. This beauty plan is not a little too much. The moment he met Josie's eyes, he immediately read Josie's plan. She was looking for a chance to get out. Without Jim in the way, the thugs were moving the looted items to the car like nobody's business. But Josie found an opportunity to enter the car. A kick in the gas with the car and things disappear into the night. At the same time, Jim was also preparing weapons to meet the fight. Sure enough, the two robbers returned to Jim to settle the score. But this time Jim is no longer unarmed. Faced with a black hole in the gun, the gangsters are now dumbfounded. After cleaning up the robbers, Josie appeared in front of the supermarket as promised. When the police received reports from the public, arrived at the supermarket, only to see the two tied up in knots of the robbers. And at this time Josie and Jim had already left the town, hand in hand to start a new life for both of them. I have to say, Jennifer Connelly in this beautiful film, really beautiful and breathtaking, ridiculously sexy. Two people at different ends of the food chain. After this amazing night really came together. Such a bridge is how many people dreamed of it. Well, that's it for today's video. See you next time.